君にはどんなに近づいても足りないんだ。
Pantry. After a soft dip, the steaming hot water begins to pour into the empty porcelain cup. During your lunch break, you head to the pantry to get some water after your meal. Normally, there will be several colleagues here in line for the microwave. However, the pantry is a little empty today with only a handful of people. In recent years, most colleagues would take days off prior to the Winter Wish Festival, leaving only a few employees here to hold down the fort.
今年の休暇はどこに行く予定ですか？
今年は旅行には行かないで、実家に帰って両親と一緒に過ごそうと思ってるんだ。そっちは？
私は例年通り実家に帰ろうかと。もうチケットも買いました。実はちゃっかり実家で食べたいものリストも用意してまして。
Hearing your colleagues chatter, the images of the two people you haven't seen for a very long time cross your mind. Home. During the Winter Wish Festival holiday, the people of Celis have a tradition of returning home for a reunion, whether they are from here or from elsewhere. However, your parents went overseas for a confidential project for the year you started college and still haven't returned. So to you, going home or not for Winter Wish Festival makes no difference. I've already gotten used to it after all these years. But for some reason, you still get that heart-wrenching feeling when you think about it. Your mind wanders.
危ない。
A frantic voice sounds from behind you. Immediately after, someone quickly grabs your hand and pulls it away as if they are trying to block you from something, distancing your hand away from the water dispenser. You only realize what happened a few seconds later. The water in your cup was full and the boiling hot water was overflowing. Artem! You look at Artem confused. When did he arrive?
やけどはしていないか？手の甲が赤くなっているな。薬を取ってくる。
Artem shuts off the water and hurries over to you again. As he leans in, you can smell the pleasant fragrance of cedar on him. He frowns as he examines your hand. He questions you with concern in his voice. His behavior soothes the unrest inside you. Don't worry, you came just in time. The hot water didn't get to have its way. As for the red marks on my hand, I think that's from you grabbing me too hard.
そうなのか。次はもう少し優しく握るよう気をつける。さっきはぼんやりしていたようだったが、何か考え事か？
I was just thinking about what I should do for the Winter Wish Festival holiday.
そうか。
A thought flashes across Artem's eyes. He looks over at the table to the side. Your colleagues nearby are completely unfazed by what happened and continue talking about their holiday plans to go home.
そういえば、正当祭について君に聞きたいことがあったんだ。
He leans into your ear with a smile on his face as if he wants to tell you a secret. He then speaks in a low voice.
今年の正当祭は二人で一緒に過ごさないか？
Of course we can. I'm not going anywhere anyway. But don't you have to go back home?
私の両親も最近は忙しくて、休暇の間は家に帰れそうにないらしいんだ。まあ、 仮に家で過ごせたとしても、君のことなら二人も大歓迎だろ
The noise from the microwave puts an end to the conversation. Your colleagues greet each other, then leave. Artem's voice returns to normal as he straightens his back to continue your discussion about the Winter Wish Festival.
う。家でゆっくり過ごしたいか、それとも旅行にでも行くか。
I always travel during holidays. Why don't we stay at home this time?
わかった。そうしよう。家で過ごせば、きっと君もしっかり休めるだろう。
Rest up. Artem turns to the side and takes your cup. He pours out the excess hot water and wipes the residual water on the outside of the cup. You are ready to take the cup, but he continues holding on to it and signals you with a smile as he turns around.
ついてきなさい。
Artem's office. You didn't expect Artem to bring you to his office. He places your cup on the coaster and grabs a blanket from the shelf to give to you.
昼休みが終わるまでまだ少し時間がある。ここで少し寝ていきなさい。
Huh? Why all of a sudden? Artem sees the confusion on your face and answers.
さっき給湯室で熱湯が溢れていることにも気づかなかったのは、最近あまり休めていなくて疲れが溜まっているせいだろう。ここなら静かだから安心して眠りなさい。
Although I'm flattered by your special treatment, the thing is, I'm not feeling sleepy at all right now. Besides, it wasn't because I was tired. I just have something on my mind. I'm not sure how to describe it. Despite having said that, you take the blanket from Artem's hand and hold it in your arms as if it were a pillow. However, you still feel like something is missing. You sit on the couch and reach out to tug on Artem's sleeve. You look at him with anticipation in your eyes.
わかった。
The blanket is gently unfolded and Artem sits down next to you.
何をすればいい？
Why don't we talk for a bit? Maybe it will help me with my messy emotions.
話をするだけでいいのか？
I don't know, but I feel satisfied just by hearing your voice.
私の声？
Yep, like just now when I heard your voice I knew you were coming over. I was taken over by a sudden sense of calmness. I felt safe, as if all of my terrible emotions suddenly disappeared.
私の声にそこまでの力があるのか？
Yep, judging from your face right now, have you never noticed that?
前に似たような話を聞いたことはあるが、正直あまり現実的ではないと思っていた。
Maybe it's different for everyone. Voices have complex effects on different people on various occasions. That's especially the case for couples. But for me, I'm sure your voice is my perfect remedy.
私のような普通の声がそんなに素晴らしいものだと言われる日が来るとはな。
It's not ordinary at all. Our Mr. Wing's voice is amazing. I think it's as great as the voice of a professional voice actor. Perhaps entertained by your serious remarks, Artem burst out laughing. There is mirth in his eyes and he gazes at you with kindness.
それで、この左京先生と話したいことは？
Anything? Is there something you'd like to talk about, Artem? Of course, topics regarding laws are prohibited right now.
ああ。もしよければ、今年の休暇の予定についてもっと具体的に話し合いたいんだが。
Inside the car. On the day of the Winter Wish Festival, you and Artem drive to a famous supermarket in the city. Based on the rough plans the two of you came out with a few days ago, you decide to do some essential holiday shopping. The streets outside the window are packed with cars and the ancient sound of a car horns. Many vehicles have decorations on their windows for the holidays. There are so many people around. You subconsciously change your posture and tighten your collar.
寒いのか？もう少し暖房の温度を上げた方がいいなら。
I'm fine like this. With this many people out right now, I'm guessing the supermarket is going to be packed as well.
そうだろうな。だが人で賑わっている場所に行くと無性に気分が晴れることもあるだろ。
Lift one's mood. As Artem drives slowly, a sudden look of helplessness appears on his face and he immediately stops the car.
また赤信号か。
It's okay, we're almost there.
帰るときは事前にどのルートが空いているか調べておこう。
Okay, we'll find one together. You take advantage of the red light and look at the view outside the car window. There is an art advertisement being played on the screen of the mall across the street. The person in the ad looks familiar and you take a second look. Is that Edward Narwin? They're actually playing the art advertisement he was in when he was younger. I rewatched one of his old movies recently. What a coincidence! Artem follows your gaze and looks at the ad.
ああ、彼か。彼が出ているどの映画を見たんだ？
It's a movie called The Echoes from more than 10 years ago. Edward has a great performance. His voice is so sexy.
声？
Yeah, The Echoes is a movie that revolves around the emotions and voices of the male and female protagonists. You can see that they met each other because of their voices. Later, the female protagonist got in an accident and damaged her vocal cords, resulting in her voice becoming harsh and unpleasant. She began to break down because of it. But the male protagonist stayed by her side. No matter how terrible the female protagonist was feeling, he would use his gentle and sincere voice to pick her up and get through her troubles together. Artem looks at you in silence as if a thought entered his mind while you continue to describe the story in your memories.
そこまで細かく覚えているということは、その映画を気に入っているのか？
It's a good movie, but it's really because I recently just watched it that I'm having so many thoughts and feelings about it. The primary physician told the male protagonist that the closer two people are to one another, the more influence their voice has on the other. I immediately thought of you when I got to that part of the movie.
私？
Yeah, your companionship and your voice are always so powerful. They're capable of influencing my feelings. Some emotions are so complicated that I don't even know how to deal with them, but your voice is capable of soothing them. It's really interesting, don't you think?
だが私は。
Just as Artem is about to say something, the sharp horn of the car behind you begins to sound. Artem quickly reacts and drives off. The light turned green without the two of you realizing it. Supermarket. After roughly 10 more minutes, you and Artem arrive at your destination. Looking at the crowd before your eyes, the supermarket is certainly more packed with people during the holidays. There are more people than we anticipated. Looks like we'll be in here for a while. Where should we start? Arthur pushes the shopping cart and looks ahead. The shelves are filled with an abundant amount of ingredients and seasonings, and the air is packed with the fragrance of delicious food.
まずは近いところから見ていこう。ちょうど試したいと思っていた新しいメニューがあるんだ。その食材を揃えたい。
What are you planning on making?
大したものじゃない。ただの薬膳スープだ。
Artem speaks as he picks out the ingredients he needs and places them in the cart. You're full of zest as you continue to shop with Artem. After placing down the items in your hands, you look up to find Artem staring at a jar of herbal sauce with a frown on his face. What's wrong?
いや、ただ、
Although he says it's nothing, his brows are locked together and his tone is filled with uncertainty. Huh? Let me take a look at what's giving Chef Wing such a headache. Artem turns to the side and holds onto the jar in his hand. His face is filled with helplessness and a pampering smile. The soft white light shines on the top of his head and expels a chill in the air.
本当に大したことじゃない。ただ、これを買うかどうか少し悩んでいるだけだ。この原材料は君の体にも良いものだが、君が好きかどうかがわからなくて。
So the herbal soup is for me?
君以外に私がここまでしたいと思う相手がいると思うのか？
Artem continues to gaze at you. The contemplative and focused look on his face makes it look like as if he's trying to confirm something. Suddenly, it feels like the heat has been turned up in the supermarket, and your chest begins to feel hot. I don't actually know anything about this. Maybe we can try it out. I mean, if you'd like me to.
それなら買おう。もし口に合わなかったら、残りは私が食べればいい。
Please let you understand the rules. Be responsible for your actions, Chef Wings.
私の覚悟はそれだけじゃない。
Huh? There seems to be a deeper meaning in Artem's gaze. It feels as if there are countless words he would like to say to you.
スープを作るだけでなく、君に関係することなら、君自身でさえ見逃してしまうような小さなことでも、君のほんの一瞬の感情の波でも、私は全てを知りたい。その責任を負いたいんだ。そうすれば、もっと君に近づけるだろ
う。Aren't we close right now?
いや、もっと近づきたい。君には、どんなに近づいても足りないんだ。それとも、私が欲張りすぎるだけだろうか。
You're stunned and don't know how to respond. You can hear your heartbeat getting louder, like it's ready to leap out of your chest and hope next to Artem's ear to tell him of your feelings. But before you can react, an apologetic voice can be heard from off to the side.
申し訳ありません。そこを通りたいので、少しカートを避けていただいてもよろしいですか？
The supermarket employee pops his head out from behind the forklift carrying merchandise and interrupts your conversation. The two of you have no choice but to move to the side. Artem places the herbal sauce into the shopping cart and pushes it next to another shelf further down the aisle.
もうカゴがいっぱいだな。もう一つカートを持ってくる。少し待っていてくれ。
Artem quickly strides away. Watching him leave, your thoughts uncontrollably return to the words he said. Artem's still worried about me, I guess. Whether it's taking you to a crowded supermarket or making soup for you, these are the unique ways Artem expresses his concern for you. Fluctuation in emotions. Is he referring to the pantry incident yesterday? Is he still worried about why I almost called it myself? I have to tell him. You subconsciously begin to walk in the direction that Artem left in. However, you make a full circle and Artem is nowhere to be found. There's an empty card right here. Could it be that there are too many people and we got separated? You have no choice but to go back to the same way and wait for Artem to find you instead. However, you discover a family of trees standing near where the two of you were standing. They speak among one another with joy, so you push your shopping cart forward a little bit. A unique looking sauce catches your eye. Spicy cheese. I wonder how this flavored these. The bottle is at the top of the shelf. Just as you're about to reach for it, the family to the side starts to talk again.
ほらほら、やっぱりここの年越しの方が雰囲気あるよね。
当然でしょ。生誕祭で何より大切なのはこういう雰囲気だもの。
どんな一年だったかは置いといて、生誕祭は家族で集まることが一番大事だもんね。
At the same moment, the lyrics of the music in the supermarket sings, "No matter how far you travel, home is always the place to be." The festive vibe and the small decorations that flash in the lights unintentionally tug on the strange emotions you've temporarily forgotten. The supermarket is filled with people busy with holiday shopping. One can easily bump into someone every couple of steps. However, all the joy and high spirits seem to have nothing to do with you. But for some reason, Artem's face suddenly appears in your mind. You want him to come back and stay right beside you. You want to be wrapped in his sturdy arms. You want to hear his voice. Artem pushes the empty cart frantically with perspiration on his forehead. As he is unable to find the familiar silhouette in the crowd, he returns to his original spot. Just as he's about to take out his phone to call you, he finally spots you in the midst of countless people. Artem approaches with joy but slowly comes to a stop as he notices your strange expression. Supermarket. The air is suffocating. Loud, joyful holiday music is being played in the supermarket, but it sounds muffled and distant in your ears. You put aside your thoughts, not wanting to ruin the mood. Maybe focusing on what's in front of you right now is the best thing to do. I have to keep it together. I'm not sure what spicy cheese tastes like, but it's good to try something new, right? You tiptoe and extend your arm, trying to reach for the bottle of sauce on the top of the shelf. It's just slightly out of reach, and you just need to stretch a little more. You can touch the edge of the glass bottle, but it remains out of your grasp. It's as if the bottle has become an opponent of yours as you become frustrated and try to extend your arm even further, not wanting to give up. Do you really want the bottle, or are you just projecting your emotions onto it while Artem is somewhere else? Suddenly, your fingertips make contact with the bottle next to the spicy cheese. Your heart skips a beat as you watch it fall.
危ない。
In a split second, the familiar and caring voice purges your mind of all frustration. Artem barely holds back the falling sauce bottle, even slightly shaking the other items on the shelf.
危なかった。大丈夫か？
Artem stares at you as he hands you the bottle. His gaze persists until he is sure you are alright.
君に当たらなくてよかった。どうしたんだ？何か考え事か？
Why do you ask that? Do I look like I have something on my mind?
ああ、見えたな。昨日の給湯室の時と似ている。
I feel like it was when I heard your voice earlier. It reminded me of yesterday's incidents. You look down at the bottle he caught for you. It is not the flavor that you wanted. The bottle is lukewarm from the temperature of Artem's hand. You grip tightly onto the bottle, not wanting to return it to the shelf. It feels like what he caught and saved wasn't the bottle of sauce, but your erratic emotions instead. Something got to me. I was fixated on that bottle because I was just a bit off from being able to reach it. It put me in a bad mood. But hearing your voice clears my mind. I feel much better.
私の声にそんなに強い力があるのか？
Of course, I'm not sure how other people feel about it, but it's very effective on me. Artem gazes at you with thoughts running through his mind.
そうだ。君が欲しいと言ったのは隣の調味料だったな。今私が取って。
You shake your hand and pretend to read the ingredients on the bottle in your hand. No, this one will do. This flavor is fine. Artem's resident first floor. After the two of you return from the supermarket, Artem gets ready to make lunch. Two of the dishes he made use the sauce you randomly pick at the last minute. This was satisfying. Except for cooking too much, everything is just perfect. Well done, Xiaohui.
君が気に入ってくれたならよかった。テーブルの片付けは私がやるから、君は先に休んでいなさい。
Why don't I help you? Artem looks at the plates, utensils, and the cooking tools not too far away. He does not respond immediately. He seems to be hesitant about something.
いや、大丈夫だ。片付けくらいすぐに終わる。私に任せておきなさい。中には鋭利な道具もあるから、君がまたうっかり自分を傷つけてしまうんじゃないかと心配なんだ。
That won't happen with you, Natsumi. It's because you were right next to me both times in the pantry and at supermarket that it happened.
そうは言っても、やはり君には怪我のリスクを負わせたくない。そうだな。もし何もしないでいるのが退屈だと思うなら、ちょうど忍耐力のいる別の大役がある。
What's that?
先日、調べ物をするために大量の本を漁ったんだが、片付ける暇がなくてな。今も書斎が散らかったままなんだ。もしよければ、君に書斎の本の片付けを依頼してもいいか？
Ah, that's a piece of cake. You don't need to request me for that. No problem. I'll take care of the books in the study. Artem looks at it after hearing your response. He begins to clear away the plates and foods on the table. You get up and head toward Artem's study while thinking back on what he said. Your mind will wander and you may hurt yourself again. Is he still worried about me? What should I do to make him stop worrying? Maybe I should find an opportunity to tell him the truth. Artem's study. It's just as Artem said. Many of his books are sitting around as he is too busy lately to return them to the shelf. But even with the books lying around, Artem's study is still very organized. It's easy to clean the place up. Artem's definition of all over the place is very different from an ordinary person's. As you amuse yourself with the idea, you begin to clean and pick up the top two books from the stacks, checking their titles on the book spine. A white envelope slips from between the two books and onto the ground, making a soft sound. You are surprised as you read the words on the envelope. To Mockingbird, one of the top 10 movie critics of the quarter. Is this a letter for Artem's movie critic identity? But judging from its writing, it looks more like an invitation.
招待状？
Artem has already finished cleaning and entered the study while you were stunned by the letter. You hand him the invitation and he takes a quick glance. I found this when I was almost done cleaning.
なるほど。ここにあったのか。あの時捨て忘れたようだ。
Throw it away?
ああ、別に大したものじゃない。ある人気の配信サイトが送ってきた招待状だ。彼らはコマ撮りロビンを配信に招待しようとしていた。おそらく映画関係のビジネスを動かしたかったのだろう。声を変えたり、特殊効果で顔を隠したりすることも提案されたが、そもそも出演する気はなかったから断ったんだ。
Artem takes the invitation and walks toward the garbage can. As an interesting idea strikes your mind. Streaming platform. Although that doesn't sound very likely to happen, I still can't help thinking about it. How would it have been like if you really did go to the stream? I'm not sure why, but I have a feeling that you'll deviate from the host plan and talk back while sharing the honest truth. The host and platform might not be very satisfied with you, but the people who took a liking to your style will love it. As a result, your popularity will skyrocket. You continue to exercise your imagination as Artem remains quiet. Not knowing how long you went on for, Artem suddenly speaks.
この何日かの間で一番リラックスした笑顔だな。
His musing words come out of nowhere, almost sounding as if he's saying it to himself. You freeze and touch your face subconsciously.
君はコマ撮りロビンの配信を見たいか？それを見れば君の気分も良くなるか？
You look up and find Arthur's smiling eyes. No, I mean, I was joking. I was just joking around and letting my imagination run wild. It's definitely not appropriate for you to go on a streaming platform. Besides, I don't want you to go against your will. And as for making me feel better, well, that's easy. I told you before, I always feel better when I hear your voice.
声か。
He raises the invitation as he was about to throw away and looks at you.
それなら私とゲームをしてみないか？
Huh? Artem study. You never expected the game that Artem suggested to be a simulation of Mockingbird being interviewed on stream. I'm not sure why he suddenly wanted to do this, but it sounds kind of fun nonetheless. After the camera is turned on and the tripod is set, the two of you take your positions as interviewer and interviewee. The monitor on the table imitates a live interview scene. Are you ready, Great Mockingbird?
どうしてその呼び方を？
I saw your friends call you that on your movie reviews. Is it weird for me to call you that?
いや、他の人に呼ばれる分には特に違和感はない。 ただ、君に呼ばれると、全く違うように聞こえる。
Artem's gaze wanders. He raises his hand and touches his collarbone before helplessly placing it back down again. His voice changes a bit, as if to differentiate between Artem and Mockingbird. However, you see it as his attempt to change the subject. So, how is it different, Great Mockingbird?
秘密だ。
But as you know, Great Mockingbird, I'm a journalist who specializes in digging up secrets. Come on, work with me here.
正直、私も何と言ったらいいのかわからない。ただ、君にその名で呼ばれると、耐えられないというか。
If this is all it takes to make me irresistible to you. What happens when it comes to a day I call you hubby? Wouldn't I have you right in my palm? Arthur's eyes slowly widen. The fading blush on his face quickly returns.
いつかじゃない。もう私は君の手のひらの上にいる。さて、そろそろ取材を始めてくれないか。秘密を掘り下げるプロの記者さん。
All right. The person in front of you seems to think he can cover up his secret and you'll let him loose to begin your serious interview. However, this is a rare opportunity. I should tease him more, or it'd be such a waste. I bet the fans watching the stream have been waiting for this for a long time. Let us get right to the quick Q&A segment. First, fans are asking why your voice sounds similar to an attorney Mr. Wim from the Tamis law firm. What's that all about, Great Mockingbird? Arthur is confused and looks at you. No way, I gotta keep cool, can't give in to him now.
その質問に対する答えは一つしかない。左京弁護士に用があるなら、このコマ撮りロビンに聞いても無駄だ。
Next question. Great Mockingbird, I heard that you've never been in love before. Is that true? Artem nods without hesitation but quickly adds.
確かに恋愛をしたことはなかったが、それは彼女に出会うまでの話だ。
When did you realize that you like her? Can you try to summarize it in abstract terms? Artem contemplates for a moment and shakes his head.
大体と言われても、気がついたらとしか言いようがないな。
Huh?
もし前世があるとしたら、きっと私は数百年前、いや、数千年前から彼女に惚れていた。こういったファンタジーな設定は映画でも題材にされることが多いが、実際私は彼女と出会うために生まれてきたのかもしれない。
Oh no, it turns out I'm the one who's in his palm. What's going on with Artem today? It feels like he knows all the right words to say. If this goes on, I won't be able to continue. I should change the topic. You touch your face to see if it has started to heat up. It seems that your feelings haven't been exposed yet. You are suddenly reminded of the movie the two of you talk about in the morning. Let's get into your area of expertise, Great Mockingbird. I remember a movie called The Echoes. I'm not sure if you've watched that movie. If you have, what comments do you have on it? Artem looks surprised. He gazes at you, seemingly wanting to say something, but it's also as if he's looking through you, thinking about something.
エコーなら見たことがある。 だが当時は、これといった感想はなかった。
Arthur's study. Arthur's answer takes you by surprise. You recall that Artem didn't say much about the echoes when you brought it up at the red light on the way to the supermarket this morning. You didn't even think he had seen the old movie before. When you said that you didn't have any strong feelings about it, what do you mean?
そうだな。この映画の中で語られる声というものを、当時の私は眉唾だと考えていたんだ。一人の人間がパートナーの声だけで奇跡のように絶望から立ち直る。正直、あまり現実的とは言えないだろ。だが最近は全く違う見方をするようになった。
Artem's gaze falls on you. You suddenly realize something. Well then, what do you mean by recently? Artem looks at you with intensity in his eyes as if he's making sure you really want to hear his answer.
一人の女性が私に新しい見方と考え方を教えてくれたからだ。
Ah, is that person your girlfriend?
ああ。だが今はもう婚約しているから単なる恋人ではない。
Artem says the words with perfect clarity. His voice has also returned to being Artem. It's as if he's purposely emphasizing something. You can even hear the hidden joy, pride, and slight nervousness in his voice. Back to the echoes. Would you like to share your new perspective on the movie Great Mockingbird?
彼女のおかげで理解できた。声に秘められた力は眉唾なものでも現実味のないものでもない。特に親密な関係にある二人にとって声は確実に互いに影響を与えている。形こそないが声は相手に寄り添う方法の一種で恋人に対する気持ち、ひいては溢れる愛を伝えることができるものだ。例えば、私の声が君にとって大きな意味を持っているなんて、今まで考えたこともなかった。
Artem seems to be ignoring the simulated stream and refers to you as he normally would. He looks up at you with all his hidden emotions exposed and magnified by the camera lens. Did you also suddenly realize that you've underestimated the influence your voice has over me?
そうやって考えたことはなかったな。だが、君のことをもっと知りたいと思った。君の怒りも憂鬱も私は知りたい。そういった負の感情も含めて私は君のすべてが好きだから。
Huh?
いや、好きと言ってしまうと君が落ち込んでいるところを見るのが好きなように聞こえてしまうな。言い方を変えよう。私は君が好きだ。君が悲しもうと、落ち込もうと、感情的になろうと、それは変わらない。本当に君のすべてが好きで、君の新しい一面を見つけるたびに、私は君のことを深く知れたような気分になる。それと同時に、私の声で君の心を満足させられることがとても嬉しい。
Artem has a very serious and heavy look on his face. It's like he's trying to analyze his own feelings as he gently shares them with you. Your heart feels like it's filled with soft, fluffy clouds and only moments away from flying into the azure blue sky in his eyes. Thinking back on the events during these past 2 days, you suddenly understand why Artem is saying all of this. You look at the monitor to the side. Maybe this is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. I saw some comments also sharing their analysis. Let me read a few of them. Great Mockingbird, is it because your fiance heard something before the holidays and is feeling a little down? Artem is stunned, looking unsure if you're telling him this on purpose. Maybe everyone's talking about going home for the Winter Wish Festival, but she can't do the same, and that's what made her sad. But hearing your voice makes her feel comforted, like she isn't alone. These are just some guesses of mine.
君、
A strange expression appears on Artem's face. He seems to have made connections from what you said.
本当にそれが原因だったのか？
You put down the microphone and stand up with a smile on your face. You lean in close to Artem. You can still hear the sound of the camera operating. The quiet humming stimulates your eardrums, making you feel unusually restless. So, why don't I, the fiancé of the Great Mockingbird, elaborate on that comment? Listen to me carefully, alright?
もちろん、一言一句ちゃんと聞こ
Artem tilts up his head slightly and fixes his blue eyes on you. You've definitely noticed that I've been emotional and slightly depressed this couple of days, right?
う。ああ、気づいていた。
Then why didn't you just ask me? Why did you keep it to yourself and try to guess and make assumptions? You purposely say the words in a pouting fashion. Artem freezes and quickly speaks.
いや、私は、もし的外れなことを言ったら、君が余計に落ち込んでしまうのではないかと心配して。
See, this is your bad habit.
ああ、確かにそうかもしれない。私はいつも、
But since I like you so much, I guess I'll just have to like and accept your bad habit as well. You place your finger on Artem's warm lips, gesturing for him to stop talking. You then laugh and remove your finger. For the past 2 days, the moment I hear your voice, the reason for being emotional no longer matters. It's natural to be emotional sometimes. However, some emotions don't need to be remedied and taken care of. All they need are companionship and comfort. Not to mention being able to hear your genuine and worried voice. With you by my side, my worries and regrets no longer have such a heavy influence on me. So, don't worry, okay? Artem raises his hand and touches your cheek with his warm palm. The heat resonates through your face. He gazes into your eyes as if he is trying to see the inside of your heart.
本当に平気なのか？
Being so close to one another, you can't help but want to move in even closer. A sudden urge rises up your chest and you kiss him on the cheek. You then lean in closer to your lips by his ear. You whisper, "How about you feel and tell me, am I feeling okay now?" Artem jolts as if he had been frightened. He places his hand on your wrist and slowly tightens it. He finally realizes what's happening. He changes his posture awkwardly and is afraid of looking at you.
今は生配信中だろ。
Artem stutters as he responds. The blush on his face spreads like a beautiful sunset on the horizon. And you speak to him in a low voice. Could it be that you're scared?
そうじゃない。
What else could it be? Before you can finish your question, Artem grabs you with force. He spins you around and your positions are now swapped. The phone and screen are quickly shut off. The intensity of what comes next should not be disturbed even by electronics. Artem's residence first floor. The night sky is filled with stars, and the ceaseless traffic outside the window continues. You look at Artem helplessly. Now that you're both completely relaxed, you don't know what you should do. It's not like this happens very often. I'm not sleepy at all. Let's do something to pass the time.
そうだな。何がいい？君のやりたいことに付き合おう。
Why don't we spend the night doing absolutely nothing?
何もしないで夜を明かすということか？
How's that sound? That's not something you're very familiar with, is it?
確かに試したことはないが、そう言われると無性に試したくなってくるな。だが、君の言う何もしないというのは、
Come on, you'll know what I mean once we start preparing. You drag Artem along as you cover the floor next to the window with a furry blanket. Then you place the beanbag chair you picked out from the furniture section at the supermarket near the window. Beanbag chairs make you want to do absolutely nothing to begin with, and now it's in the perfect place. Doesn't this look even cozier? Artem, what do you think? Is it a little too messy? If you don't like it...
いや、これまでのきっちりした空間よりも少し家らしくなった気がする。うん。今の方がいいな。このままずっと置いておくのもいいかもしれない。
I'm so happy that you like it too. Artem glances at the book in your hand.
君はその本に興味があるのか？
Yep, I saw this poetry collection when I was organizing the books. I'm curious about what kind of poems you like. Artem looks at the beanbag chair and points at the poem collection in your hand. He gently smiles.
今は何もしない時間だ。自分で読むより私が読んで聞かせてあげよう。
That would be great! To sing the great mockingbird will recite love poems. Who has gotten into him?
私をその気にさせたのは誰だと思ってるんだ？
Arthur smiles and glances at you as if to jab at your rhetorical question. Arthur extends and gently runs his arm around you. He brings you to the beanbag chair to begin your leisurely night. He holds the book of poems in his hand and quickly skims through them as he flips the pages. It looks as if he's searching for something. What is my great mockingbird doing? Are you slacking off?
ああ、少し待ってくれ。
Artem then moves the book away from you. His secretive behavior sparks your curiosity. What are you looking for? Why are you trying to stop me from seeing it?
君に喜んでもらえる詩を探しているんだ。前に読んだ時に見かけたものがこの辺りだったはずなんだが、すまない。もう少し待っていてくれ。
I see. Just pick any of them. It's alright. I have a wide range of interests. Maybe I like them all. Artem doesn't randomly choose the poem, but it doesn't take long before he leaves the book completely open. It seems like he's found one that he's satisfied with.
見つけた。この声という詩だ。それじゃ始めるとしよう。
Okay.
私の声の中であなたは自由だ。あなたの瞳の中では万物が漂い、人を引きつけてやまない。
A smile rests on your face. This land is a perfect reflection of the current indescribable happiness you're feeling. Artem's voice does not continue. You look over with curiosity to find his smiling gaze.
君の笑顔はもうすっかりリラックスしているな。
Really? I didn't even notice. He nods and looks back at the book while running his fingers across the spine as if he's recalling something from his memories.
実は昨日、君が落ち込んでいるのは、生徒祭の家族団らんの風習が関係していると、なんとなく気づいていたんだ。ただ、少し自信がなかった。
Not confident enough?
ああ。どう転んでも、パートナーは両親の代わりにはなれない。それぞれに抱く感情も、求める意義も違うからな。婚約者の名のもとに、永遠に寄り添う未来の家族として、一体どうすれば、君の気持ちを晴らせるのか。ずっとそれを考えていて、実際にいくつかの方法を試してみたりもした。
Thinking back on Artem's series of reactions and behavior, you suddenly burst into laughter.
だが、後になって気づいたんだ。私の声は本当に、君に寄り添うことも、君を慰めることもできるのだと。
You smile and move in closer to Artem. He really is very detailed and thoughtful when it comes to your relationship. Well, it's not just your voice that made me feel better.
他に何があるんだ？
It's not anything else. I told you this before. The most important reason that I was able to feel better is you. Artem chuckles. He doesn't respond and continues to read.
寒風は銀月の声に溶け、あなたは花の精のごとく舞い降りる。時間の声の中、虚構と現実の境界に価値はなく、星は私たちの足跡を記録する。魂の声の中、私は愛を見つけた。世界そのものを見つけた。やがてすべての音が止む。そこは二人の帰る場所。二人だけの刹那と永遠。
Artem's steady voice flows gently like a stream, meandering into a space filled with warmth and happiness. The warm breeze blows and the fire dances at its touch.
お疲れ。今から昼食か？もう食べ終わった？私もだ。近くのレストランにしたんだが、悪くなかった。ああ、午前中は依頼人のところに行っていた。今から戻る。いや、トラブルじゃない。依頼は順調だ。私はただ、今夜空いているか聞きたくて。広場で場所取りをしている人がいてな。今夜は花火大会があるらしい。他の出し物もたくさんあるそうだ。君が見たがるかもと思って聞いてみた。答えは君の顔を見ればわかる。決まりだ。今夜一緒に見に行こう。私はこういうのが好きなのかって？あまり考えたことはないが、基本的に伝統ある風習としてしか見ていないから、これといった感想はないな。慣れているから気づかないだけかもしれないが。だが今のは一人だった時の話だ。今は違う。君がいるからな。え？何が違うのか気になる？たくさんあるが、例えばイベント。 今まで気にしたことはなかったが、今は君に電話して一緒に参加したいと思った。面白いこと、悩み、新しい感覚、どれも君と共有したい。これは一人の時には思わなかったことだ。君も同じなのか？もしかすると、これが愛ゆえの変化かもしれないな。よし、今夜は早めに迎えに行く。先に夕食を済ませて、それから花火を見に行こう。ああ、じゃあ、また後で。